Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to a brand new video on the channel covering SoRare. And today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be walking you guys through how to snipe on SoRare. Now, sniping, basically what that means is it is a form of trading. It's a form of buying players for cheap and then selling them for expensive. The word sniping obviously incites that something happens fast, and basically what happens is as soon as a card gets listed, you do a quick price check, or maybe even for some miraculous reason you have some background knowledge of how much they're worth, and then you go and pick them up for an undercut of a few euros, to then proceed to go and sell them for a few euros more, and obviously then proceed to make a profit. So the first problem we come across with sniping is that there are bots. Just, you know, where there is anything to make money in the world, there are people setting up bots to get stuff for cheap. There's a few renowned bots. You'll see a person called Bologna, you'll see a person called Jay the Snake, and there are multiple other from what I've been told. So the first thing I'll say is, sadly, when it comes to sniping, we're not going to get ourselves an Erling Haaland for a fiver. You know, it is more a case of we're going to get someone worth 12 euros for 10 euros. Someone worth 9 euros for 6 euros. You know, we're looking at a lot smaller profits. We're sadly not looking at anything for 15 euros or even 10 euros because there's sadly bots set up. But there are a few things that, you know, fall through the bot sieve. And as a result, those stuff we can snap up, and the sort of stuff I've been snapping up as of recently doing the sniping. The second risk I will say is that, you know, obviously this is real life money, so if you are buying players rashly and not really doing your research, because when it comes to bidding, when it comes to sending over an offer, you do that at your own pace. You know, if you want to go and spend a few minutes researching, if you want to go and see if the player's injured, falling out of the team, playing a bad opponent, if you want to do a bit of research on why the player is down, that is perfectly okay at bidding. You know, I bid on cards that literally have 40 minutes till they expire. I'm in no hurry. Likewise with offers, you know, you send offers at your own pace. Now, see, when I say it comes to sniping, you got to think, you know, you're not sniping like a sloth. And as a result, you don't have as much of the luxury of going, oh yeah, I'll go and spend 5-10 minutes. Okay, is Nico Schultz right now on a rotation? Is he, you know, injured? Is Guerrero back? Are they coming? Are they playing against Bayern Munich followed by, I don't know, like a Mönchengladbach? You know, are they? You don't have the luxury of that. You literally have to go, alright, data, boom, players 2 euros, 3 euros cheaper, boom, I'll buy them. Because otherwise, in theory, someone like myself or someone else, you know, maybe with a little bit more market knowledge or a little more, I don't know, a little more brain dead maybe, a little more ballsy, will go and snap up the deals. Now, we could be buying the player and boom, the player's just become injured. Boom, he's, you know, he's going to drop loads. But, you know, that is, quote-unquote, the risk you take. And obviously, do you want to risk stuff with spending actual real-life money? Obviously, that is down to yourself. Now, one thing you'll be very happy to know is the trading that I do, I don't trade with anything worth more than 20 quid. So worst comes to worst, I mean, trust me, as much as the next, I'm not in a hurry to lose 20 quid. But, you know, I'm not setting myself up to buy players for 100 who are there for only sell for 20 and, you know, set myself up for 80 euro or pound losses. So before we do start, obviously, you know, you can snipe on any quote-unquote budget. But really how this site works is the more money you have, I guess the more fluid your cash flow is going to be, aka how fast it takes you to buy players and then go and sell players. Obviously, the more money you load up, the more risk you're taking. You know, the site could go down under and boom, all the money you put in, you could go and lose. But, you know, obviously vice versa, the more money you put in, the better it is. From a previous experience, I would say you could probably buy a 1-2 euro deal, coming in at an average of about probably costing like 7 to 15 euros, and you could go and flip it within 24 to 48 hours. So let's say, for example, average deal cost me 10 euros, I make 1-2 euros profit, and it'll take 24 to 48 hours. That is what I've had from personal experience. Obviously, you know, it'll be each of their own depending on how ballsy your deals, how much you're messing up, and you know, so on and so on. That's one thing I would say about sniping. I do think it's a little bit risky because obviously you are buying stuff fast without doing that background knowledge. So another very, very important thing about sniping is buying players fast. And one thing that's going to aid you, and as anyone who's been playing SoRare will know, you've got to fill in your password like there's no tomorrow. Well, what you can actually do is set up an autofill, aka rather than it saying password and you have to, you know, type in fast, it will say password. You click on it, suggested password, and it'll fill it in. Now, originally, when I was on this site, I couldn't get this. I was like, is Google just not understanding this is a password? Like, it's plainly a password. It's a username password. It didn't understand it. So the way I went around this was I went into my settings. I then went into security on account settings. And then I went to change password. And hopefully, I won't go and leak anything. Now, what I did right here is I put my current password in, and then I clicked on this. And I went for, it basically gave me a suggested password. You know, one of the ones where it's like, you know, like, just a hashtag and then 5432, you know, like a password you would never use, but it's just suggested by Google. Well, because I clicked on that, it now saved a password. Previous to that, it didn't understand that this was a password. But once I used the suggested password, then it stored the suggested password. Well, then what I did was I just went into the settings and changed the suggested password to my actual password again. So rather than just because I didn't really want to have the whole gobbledygook sort of password. So that's the way how I've managed to set up a suggested password. Again, couldn't do it previous to that, so I had to go, yes, okay, I'll take your suggestion. Just you save that there is a password on the site. And now you'll see if I go to try and win a player, you know, instantly we're getting the password. There you go, let's say we send him an offer of €1, ever kind. And then if we want a suggested password, boom. So I don't have to type anything in, it's way, way faster. You know, it saves a lot of typing. It probably stays a bit of carpal tunnel in my hands. But there we go. So that is how autofill, the risks. Without further ado, let's get underway with the sniping filter. So, as I stated, you know, we are going to be trading or sniping quote-unquote cheap players. First thing I do is I go and set the minimum to about €2. The reason for this is there is a lot of riffraff in this. Okay, there are a lot of players that just are worth an absolute pile of toss. So don't bother trading with them. What do we do is we set the first thing to €3. We then go and put the buy now. I bring it down to 20. Obviously, you bring it down to whatever you wish, you know. But obviously, if you're new to this, maybe you go €10. You know, play a little bit safer. I've got a lot of deals about €9-10, so I don't think there's any problem with that. I'm going to go 3 to as close as I can get to 20. You know, maybe I'm missing out here, but I can't seem to actually set the filter as in just like typing on here. So you have to scroll it, and the scroll is a bit temperamental. We'll go €26 for now. Okay, and this is the most important thing when it comes to sniping, is all about setting up the best value. So what you want to do is you want to put, not best value, you want to put newly listed. Obviously, if you're sniping, you want to see the stuff that's just been listed. So these players right here. So we've got our filter in, newly listed, minimum €2, maximum €26 for now, but I would normally go €20. And now what we're going to do is we are going to be scouting for deals. So what we're going to do is we're going to press reload. I'm sure you can, if you really want, press F5 or whatever, refreshes the page. We're going to refresh the page. We're going to have a player pop up called Jan Ateki. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to SoRare data. If you guys don't know, SoRare data is basically a database that holds all the selling prices and all the selling data on SoRare. So for example, if Jan Ateki is going to pop up, we're going to go type in Jan Ateki. And obviously this is when it comes to you being very fast and being able to analyze the market pretty fast. We're going to go down here and look at the 1 month data, or we're going to even go down and look at the 1 week data. And we're going to see that Jan Ateki, €3, €2.30, €2.30, €2.40, €2.50, €1.90, €2. So we're not going to get much more than €2.30, €2.40. So by surprise, this one at €20.48 is not going to be a deal. So what we're going to do is just going to press refresh right here, and we'll see what the other new player is going to be. We've got Toon Raymakers. So again, ideally you are going to type this in as fast as you can. Once again, not going to be worth. A lot of people are going to be overlisting cards by literally 10, 20, 30%. Also, once you do this for a while, you start learning prices. For example, I know this Lazovic's worth about €18, so I'm just not going to bother buying him. So, you know, you start actually gaining a bit of market knowledge. Miguel de la Fuente, I think I looked at him yesterday. Let's have a look at this Alec guy. Alexi Gerasimi. Here we go. We got, I mean, something going on. It's not really going to be a deal. But again, we go to look at that monthly data. We always ignore the blue prices. This is because people overpay on bids just for the sake of the referral. So, €3.90, €3.90, €3.70, €3.50, €3.60. So we'll look about €3.50 to €3.70. You want to be getting these players €1, €2 cheaper. I mean, the stuff that's €3, €4, you're going to struggle getting that much cheaper. But you'd want to get for about €2.70 to then go and flip for €3.70. Very fast, easy flip. Nothing there though. So we're going to go to the next card, which is going to be Seven Coombs. I think that's about 50 cents cheaper than what it normally goes for, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think it might be. So once again, look at his limited data. Look at the last month, and we're looking at €16. We're looking at €16.30, €16, €16.50. So you know, we can say about €16.50. So that is €1.50, you know, €1.10 cheaper. It's okay. I mean, for a €15 card, I kind of like the idea of 10% cheaper. So if it's €15, €1.50 would be nice. So maybe picking him up for 14 to then go and flip for 15.50 would be a lot better. But here's another thing you can do. So let's say a card like Sven Coombs is, you know, again, he's about a K cheaper than what we think we could sell him for. That's not quite ideal, but this guy might be open to go, so he's already 1k cheaper. What if I go and offer him just 1k cheaper than what he wants there? This guy might see, well, he's only 1k cheaper than what I'm trying to get him for. Whereas what I'm in reality doing is getting sorry, I keep saying K as too much use FIFA, but £2 or €2 cheaper than what he is going for. So, you know, that's what you can do is if something's on like a semi-deal, just send them a little trade offer. I mean, you'll see this happen left, right and centre. When you go and list up cards, you'll see that vultures are sending you trade offers, you know, there's no tomorrow. And that's kind of the case with this. What they do, by the way, is they will basically sit here and they'll trade offer everything about 20-30% under market value. I personally have tried this and it's just not very efficient. Half the time, actually, when these guys do send me trade offers, I go and look at their account and I go, how many cards are you winning? Not many. But they very rarely are selling many. So what I think is a lot better reply is find something that's already cheap. You know, if I go and listing a card for €15 and someone's sending me a trade offer at €12, I'm just telling them to do one. You know, that's way too cheap. But if I've already scouted out something that's a semi-deal for €15 and I go, well, what about €14.50? Well, I'm not taking the mick here. You know, I'm only trying to get €1.50. He is, you know, cheap in the first place, but yeah, that is that. So that kind of wraps it up for sniping. As I say, I found sniping quite good actually. It's quite competitive to the bidding one. Obviously, again, it's a little bit more rash. It's a little bit more risky in it. And then yeah, once again, if you're still on, you know, still the same thing. If you're on a low budget, you know, anything like probably €100-200 or below, it's going to be a little bit slow selling cards. But obviously, once you trade your way up, you'll obviously get more and more and more, and the cash flow and the you know, I guess the euro total or whatever you have, or Ethereum total, it's going to get higher and higher and higher. You're going to find easier and easier and easier. One thing I will say about this, you obviously have to be over 18 to play on this site, but I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. You can, you know, really appreciate the risks of money and, you know, what you're doing when you're a bit wiser to money, I guess, as such. But we're going to jump off, call it a day. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Hopefully it's helped you. As I say, sniping on SoRare is indeed a thing. It is a relatively competitive trading method, and I have actually seen other top FIFA traders doing this method on SoRare, which is quite interesting to see. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in another video.